Hello everyone, it's Vicki here today and we are celebrating Joanne Bartell's 1000 subscriber celebration. So she's got 1000 subscribers on YouTube and we're doing YouTube Hop. This layout that you see here is hers and I'm going to be scrap lifting it. It's beautiful, isn't it? So, okay, so I'm going to start. I have the, let me see, the April Hip Kit Club kits. And just the main kit, and I'm going to use that to scrap this layout. So I'm going to cut this semicircle. I know this is not the standard way of cutting a circle, but I didn't have anything big enough. So I used this, which has holes all the way along, this little scallop ruler, and I put a pencil in one of the holes and then twisted it around in a circle to draw the semicircle. So, you know, us crafters, we can find a way, can't we? So I've got this big semicircle and then I want to do some strips down the side as she has on the left hand side here, and yeah, that's the basis of the layout. I love scrap lifts because they always come together super fast and you know, someone's already done the hard design work for you. so yeah, I quite like doing them. Mine turns out a little bit differently to Joanne's, but I think it looks really cute. So I've got a photo there as well of me and my dog, Buster, and we're having a cuddle. So I knew I wanted to scrap this, and so this is the ideal opportunity. There's no real colours in that photo, apart from my hair and his body, which aren't dissimilar. So there was nothing to clash with the picture. Okay, so what I want to do is put a little bit of ink, as Joanne has, around the semicircle, and I'm just going to use this Distress Oxide called Worn Lipstick and just do a little hazy ink effect around where the circle's going to go. And I'm just using a makeup brush there to spread it, and it doesn't matter what it looks like really because you can't see the inside of it once the semicircle's on top. So I'm also going to do some splatters, so I'm just going to water down a little bit of the ink on this plastic and then do some splatters, and I want them to be really, really subtle, so I'm going to get some kitchen paper and roll those up as well in a second. So you'll see how I do that. If I left them longer they would be deeper in colour, so the longer you leave them the more visible they are, but I wanted, as I said, something very subtle. Okay, so I'm just going to make this strip a little bit smaller for the left. I think about putting it all the way to the edge, but I don't in the end. I decide to do it just like that. So I've got a strip of colour down there, mostly the pink, which is the reverse side of this blue, but there's also some blue poking out of the edge as well. Okay, so I'm just going to stick these papers down because I know that they're going to go in these positions. That's not going to change. Had a little play to see if I might turn those around a bit, but no, I decided to do this. There we go. So that's the basis. Now I'm going to cut out some florals because there are lots of florals on Joanne's layout, so I want to make sure I add florals in, and I'll skip through that because you don't need to see me cutting out lots of flowers. I just fussy cut them from that paper there. And then I'm going to look through the die cuts in this kit to choose some. And I really like the rainbow die cut there. And I like that one that says lots of this, or I can't remember what it says now, but that's, I don't end up using that one actually. Oh, loving this, I think it says. It's very small on my screen, so I can't quite see it. Okay, so I'm going to think about my title, and I play around with this a couple of times. I put it down, and I move it around, and yeah, so that happens a few times, but in the end, actually, it comes out completely differently, and I do that off camera, but I do move it around a couple of times on camera. Okay, so just going to go in with some frames now. I want to build a little little area here that the flowers coming from the photos are going to meet to join those two areas up. Joanne on hers has a little separate area and they don't meet, but I quite like the idea of having them meet together. I'm just going to put the stuff together to see how that looks. I do put things on and off several times on my page before I decide what I want sometimes. I'm going to cut a bit of the white off of this die cut with the bird because there was just quite a lot of white at the top, I thought, so I just wanted to take some of that off. And I prefer once that's done. That's going to go up there. So I'm going to move the frames up a little bit. I decided they were a bit too low. I like how they look though, a little cluster of frames. I think that's pretty cute. Going to get some tissue paper, I think, here to put on the back of my photo, just to give it some separation from the page, from the blue. And that's all I'm going to do underneath that. Because I've got a heavily patterned paper, I don't want to introduce more patterns there. Okay, so I'm happier with how that looks. The height of the frames on the left work better for me now. I'm going to put some foam on the back of the photo, and this is just sticky back foam. It's sticky one side and not the other. I'm just going to stick that to the page. Always have trouble with my ATG tape on foam. It doesn't want to stick well sometimes, or it doesn't want to break off, if you see what I mean. Okay, so just putting in the flowers, ruffling up some of the edges of them, and then I'm putting some onto foam and some flat, just for a bit of added texture and interest there. Dimension. And I love that little speech bubble that has a heart in it. I sort of place it so it's almost sort of coming out of Buster's nose. And I think that works quite sweet. Okay, just sticking some more of the flowers down with the foam. I do love a full sheet of florals that's ready for fussy cutting. Yeah, those flowers are really sweet because obviously they're very similar to the flowers on the paper that I've used. I'm going to stick the bird up there. The flowers will tuck slightly behind the other flowers, but the bird is raised onto foam. Here I am moving the title again because I think it's too high. What I realised actually after I switch off the camera is I realised the title's too short for that space. So I actually add the word time as well off camera. So you'll see that on the final image, but that's where I end up. And that's why I kept moving it, because I just wasn't happy with the length of it, I think. Okay, more sticking. More little die cuts. And then here I have some Bramble Fox perspective hearts, and I wanted to put these on because I share a design team with Joanne with Bramble Fox, and so I thought it was very appropriate to put some of these on my layout that is for her YouTube hop. And I'm just going to stick those down in a few different places. I think I do 4 pink ones, and I also do an ampersand perspective as well. Just for no other reason than I really love ampersands. It's a strange thing, I know, but I just really like them. I think they look really nice. Oh dear me. Yeah, so just sticking those down. That's Scotch tacky glue I'm using, and I find that sticks them really well. And what am I going to do next? Okay, yeah, I feel I add a couple of chipboard florals in that bunch, but I also feel like something else is needed on the left, just slightly higher up. So I'm going to do that in a second, as well as that little together, which I'm going to stick on the photo. There's lots of white space on the photo there, so it's not covering anything. Here we go, I've got these 2 little circular die cuts that I'm going to stick there on foam. And you'll notice that butterfly is upside down for quite a while before I realise that it's upside down. I'm glad I did realise though, because that would look really strange. Okay, we're sticking them down. There we go, I've got it, finally got it. And I like how that looks, and that's the final layout. I do hope it's given you some inspiration for scrapbooking. I want to say congratulations again to Joanne for her 1,000 YouTube followers. Please like and subscribe, and also to Joanne's video, which will be linked below, and along with all of the others involved in the hop. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.